Hi, this is attorney Andrea Witt.
And this is attorney Stephen Spano with a Legal and Financial Minute or Two. Do you think your estate is too small to need a will? Think again.
Most of the estate fights we see involve estates valued at less than $100,000.
And some of them are actually less than $30,000.
In a recent example, we had a family of 4 siblings.
2 of them were sisters who were remarkably close with each other, but didn't communicate with their 2 brothers due to past family conflicts.
One of the 2 sisters, we'll call her Alice, lived in an apartment and didn't own a home. She developed a terminal illness that lasted several years before she died.
Alice had plenty of time, and over the next several years, she managed to put her healthy sister, we'll call her Betty, on all of her accounts and named her as beneficiary of a small life insurance policy.
Alice told Betty that she was giving everything in her apartment to her since she didn't want her brothers to receive a single penny.
And when Alice died several years later, Betty notified her brothers, but unfortunately neither of the brothers even came to Alice's services.
So Betty cleaned out Alice's apartment, donating or disposing almost all of Alice's belongings.
Well, a few years later, Betty discovered that Alice's name was on the state's unclaimed property list and filed a claim to get the property.
The state told Betty that she needed to probate Alice's estate to get the property, and so she filed for probate of an intestate estate, which means that Alice had no will.
Well, since there was no will, it also meant that the unclaimed property held by the state must be split equally between Betty and the 2 brothers. Now, Alice would have turned over in her grave if she knew the brothers were going to get something.
Probate requires that all heirs be notified, and the brothers were notified. At that point, the brothers got an attorney and objected to Betty's appointment as the personal representative, formerly called the executor.
And as reasons for their objection, they claimed that Betty had actually improperly disposed of thousands of dollars of Alice's personal property, and they wanted Betty to pay them thousands of dollars for the personal property of Alice that Betty disposed of.
In addition, by law, they were entitled to 1/3 of all the unclaimed property.
This case unfortunately ended up with Betty paying thousands of dollars of the unclaimed property to each of her brothers and paying thousands more in legal fees and court costs.
It could all have been avoided if Alice had a simple will, where she left everything to Betty and left her brothers out.
It's important to remember that a will is not just about your assets, your stuff. It's about protecting those you love.
Join us for our next episode of a Legal and Financial Minute or Two.
And remember, all legal and financial professionals are not the same. Seek out an expert legal and financial professional to protect you and your family.
We hope this Legal and Financial Minute or Two has helped you and those you love to protect your health, your assets, your income, and preserve your way of life.
As always, if you have something you'd like us to address in one of our segments, or have any questions on this or any other legal or financial topic, feel free to call or text Spano, DeWicki & Witt at 781-231-7800 or email us at help@spanodewicki.com.